right, well, Matthew Tkachuk, you've got that championship belt. What has this week been like for you?
It's been the craziest, most memorable, best week of my life. It really has so far, and it's just going to continue to get better with the parade coming this weekend. Friends and family coming back in town for it to celebrate. It's a special time and a week that I will just never forget for the rest of my life.
Can we see the belt exactly? Now, you got. That's very cool. That was in your locker after the game?
Yeah, there's a few of these hanging around the lockers. I think one was in my stall, maybe Barkey and Forsey's. I can't even remember, but I just put one on, and I've very rarely taken it off since. So, gonna find somewhere in the house too. I already told the boys I'm keeping this one, so gotta find somewhere to frame it one day.
To be determined.
Yeah.
You've had an amazing week getting all of the fans involved. South Florida's never seen anything like this, where a team wins, and then you're bringing that Stanley Cup all around town. Was that kind of like a goal to make sure everybody got a piece of it?
I just think that the fans are so important and make it so like rewarding for us, like to see how happy they were when the cup's around, and to see like the hours they put in at games, the practices, they're at the airports, their support is the best. I can't even describe how amazing their support is. So I feel like, when we have that Stanley Cup and when we're having the best time, we want to have that time with the fans as well, and our families and everybody. And I'm just so happy that everybody has had a chance to, or if they haven't yet, hopefully at the parade, had a chance to see it, because it's the most magical trophy ever. Like, it's what it does to people, and I've been calling it the most attractive trophy in the world. So everybody's loving it. We've had such a great time with it as players. But I think one of the best parts is seeing the reaction that everybody else has around it, and that's been really cool.
Reaction on the ice when you get to lift it was epic. Then you share with your family. You're a hockey family. Your dad Keith was an amazing player. Brady is a great player currently for the Ottawa Senators. How much of it did you want to win it for yourself, and how much did you want to win it for all of them?
Yeah, I know I talked about it after the game on the ice, but having my parents at the house, my fiance was here, some of her family's here. Obviously, I've got my brother, my sister in town, my parents, and kind of like saying goodbye to all of them before the game was just so special, and getting walked out to the car by my brother and my dad, just with a couple, last second Game 7 pointers. But when I was driving out, realizing that, my dad played that long, unfortunately wasn't able to ever win as a player. And then my brother, who's an unbelievable player in the IHL right now, I really wanted to win for them, realizing how big of an impact they've had on my whole, not only NHL career, but my whole career as a hockey player. I wanted it for them. And so that was a really cool moment.
Cool moment was when you win that cup. Take us through what Matthew Tkachuk is thinking as those minutes are winding down. It doesn't get more dramatic. 1-goal game, Game 7 at home. South Florida's only had, 2 of those previously of winning a Game 7 at home. What's going through your mind as that clock is winding down? And obviously it's a game that, Matthew, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I just think when we got that 2-1 lead and we're in the third, we've played really well with the lead, especially in third periods this year. They had a good push, but it was almost like a sign for me. We've been talking about 2-1 filth for 2 years. That's how you got to win. That's how you win in playoffs. And for it to be 2-1 and filthy and a grind, there wasn't one part of me that was worried or nervous in the third period. In fact, I actually loosened up. So it was really a special time for us to I don't know, come out, do it together, and just grind out one last period.
You had an appearance this week. Could you ever have imagined that many people would show up for something like that? I mean, it was a total mob scene, and you wanted to make sure you said hi to everybody. I know that.
Yeah, I there must have been hundreds of thousands of fans, hundreds or thousands of fans in attendance for that, and I just seen the support. I mean, that was up at Pompano, and we've partied from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, where we all live, up to probably going to be bringing it on maybe up close to West Palm here soon. We want everybody along the eastern side of Florida to try to get their hands on or at least see it. But yeah, it's been crazy.
What's been crazy is the 2 years, because you get here to South Florida. You have the famous quote at the press conference. I still hate Edmonton. I hate Tampa more. How ironic is it that you start this run, you beat Tampa, you kind of slay the dragon, maybe a changing of the guard in the state of Florida with hockey, and then the finals against Edmonton, who was your rival all those years with Calgary. I mean, could you imagine or scripted it any better?
No, you can't. You couldn't. And I think us beating Tampa in that first round, we had to beat them to win a Stanley Cup. We've talked about it. We had to go through them. And I thought that gave us so much confidence. And then going up against Boston, who we had that historic series against last year. And Boston was kind of like that sneaky, really, really, really good team this year. Like, nobody talked about them like they talked about some other teams. They might not have like the talent or the offensive firepower that some of these other teams have, but they were physically the hardest team, on your body to play against. And I thought that was a hell of a series. And then we played the President's Trophy winners and the Rangers, who are, so deep and have one of the best goalies in the world. And we beat them, and then now you're in the finals. And, of course, who comes out of the West is a team I hate and have had a ton of history with, in Edmonton. So really, really, really wanted to win that finals.
Those 10 days, you guys woke up, it was 9 or 10 days, one win away from the Cup. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Edmonton had the pushback after 3-0. How did you remain so calm and confident while they were cutting into that 3-0 series lead?
I think each day that went by, we learned something. And we talked about it a lot in playoffs, like you're either winning or you're learning. And I think before that Game 4, we learned that, yeah, the Cup's in the building, and it's going to be in the building here for however long it's going to take. We have to find a way to not let that maybe, take up our thoughts or, how we're preparing. And, we had all of our family and friends fly to Edmonton. Like, there was a lot going on, and it was crazy, and it was awesome. And then we come back home, and I think, I always said, once it was 3-1, we were either winning in 5 or we were winning in 7 to do it in front of our home fans. So we should have won that Game 5. We totally outplayed them. But like you said, for the drama of it and to make it one of the best finals ever, it's probably made most sense to go to 7.
The best way to win the first Cup ever. Jason Tatum, I mean, another incredible irony. You guys grew up together in St. Louis, good buddies as kids. Incredible that he wins the championship this year with the Boston Celtics. It's amazing that you're both professional athletes, first of all. But he wins a championship with the Celtics. A few days later, you win the Stanley Cup with the Panthers. How much conversation between the two of you since you closed it out?
We talked a lot, as the finals were starting. We exchanged some messages before it started, wishing us each other luck, how we got to both bring championships home for St. Louis. And then obviously talked after we both won. So really cool, had a full circle moment there. So happy for him. He's a complete superstar in that sport. And what he's done since coming to Boston with all the success, regular season, in the playoffs. I mean, he's played more playoff games than almost anybody at his age has ever done in history. So that's, he's a playoff guy, and to see him finally win one is very special. But I think it's so cool for everybody in St. Louis. I mean, when you think about it, like whether knowing one of us or both of us or not knowing us at all, they had something to watch every single night, whether it was one night basketball and then the next night hockey or, however it works. So it was a really cool time to be living in St. Louis, and I'm very happy for all of them to most likely get 2 championship days this summer.
You're going to have some time, you with the Cup,
yeah,
with the Larry O'Brien?
Well, we'll see. I hope so. That would be really cool, but definitely going to have my day with the Stanley Cup in St. Louis. And have another hell of a party there.
I'm sure you. I don't doubt that it's going to be a good time. A couple of true or falses. Does Mom literally say that you and Brady are not allowed to fight? Is that still in effect? I knew it was in effect at some point.
Yep, that's definitely true.
Now you guys can fight anybody else on the teams, but you just can't fight each other, right?
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yep.
How much fun has it been playing against Brady? I mean, you had some wild games. No,
it's been fun. He's obviously now with us being in the same division, it kind of changes that dynamic a little bit. It's not just like those once or twice a year playing against each other, but so every game matters against them. Both teams in the division really wanted it when we played against each other, and it's caused for some pretty intense, fun games to watch. I'm sure they'll just keep getting better.
How many mouth guards does Matthew Tkachuk shoot through every season? If you will?
I probably only go through like, I don't know, 2 or 3 a season, but in playoffs, I actually switched each and every round.
Really?
Yeah.
Superstition thing, or were you just
No,
chewing on it too hard because
no,
it was nerve-wracking?
I switched everything up in playoffs. Actually, I would go new skates before new round. I just want everything to be fresh.
Yeah.
Use a new stick before every game, which I never would do. New skates per round. I don't know. I just wanted to feel fresh for each game.
It worked.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for welcoming us into the house, Matt.
Of course, Goldie. Thank you.